So very good evening to everyone.
Good
Today,
evening.
unfortunately, Dr. Gulshan is unwell. So directly I am hosting this particular session. All the people in Canada, UK, United States, Latin America, Middle East, as well as from the Central Asia, South Asian countries, all Asian countries, welcome to all of you. And a special welcome to all the principals from Punjab who are especially joining today for this very effective session and very interesting session, because right now everybody is talking about new education policy, but nobody is telling what will be the best practices that we can adopt, or what are the best practices we can go with, because it looks like it's a closed fist. So if it's a closed fist, we have to open it, and we should be ready with the certain kind of best practices right now. So from Dr. Gulshan Sir's and on the behalf of him and the International Chamber for Service Industries, I'm welcoming you. And on the behalf of everyone over here, we are wishing for a good health of Dr. Gulshan Sharma ji and prayers that he get well soon. So basically today, I will be moderating the session, and today we have Mr. Arun Kumar ji. Yet, let me go with the objective of this global confluence. As all of you know, that this is of the educators, and today we are discussing about the best practices. And ICSI is an international chamber for service industries doing consultancy, research, innovative strategies, government, corporate, NRIs, business, especially working for NRIs and making education relevant. Monday to Friday, we are having these talks, and Saturday and Sunday, we are having special sessions on Buddhism as well as on the Ayurveda. Right now, many people from overseas as well as India have joined us. Once again, I'm welcoming them. Hearty welcome to students from Northeast. They have joined us, and towards end, they will be giving their views on women empowerment as well as on whatever they want to say, the youth. We have Joba Lakshmi, Karma, Vyusti, Wensil, Puspa, and Inu. Welcome to all 6 young girls. So today, as such, the person whom we are having is Mr. Arun Kumar. He's having 28 years of experience in the school education with 13 years as principal. He served the council of CBSE affiliated school as secretary and chairman. Under the leadership, New Millennium School is really CBSE is the only CBSE school in Bahrain which is accredited with the Quality Assurance Authority of the Kingdom of Bahrain. Recently, his school has been awarded by the Society for Leading Digital Transformation, and the Assurance Authority recognized his school for promoting flip learning. So a very warm welcome to Mr. Anil Kumar, the principal, New Millennium School, DPS Bahrain. He is a scholar, postgraduate, and many degrees he has other than that, and especially his activism is there for the innovation in education, and especially in physics and sciences. He has done wonders with various innovative practices. We are very happy that today for discussion, we have the most appropriate principal, most appropriate person who can talk about the best practices. So I'm the host, and you know me very well because every Friday I'm coming. So let's start the show now. And the most important thing here is that basically when we talk about any other thing, so we must know, first of all, the purpose of education is that how can we get into the system, and how can we get into the system of learning of children so that we can contribute the best. Of course, this is also important that we try to understand the analogy of the education and we try to get into it. So before we discuss and before we start today's discussion, once again, I'm informing that Dr. Gulshan is not well today. That's why I'm here as host. Generally on Friday, I come with one of the personality from the Middle East. And my special welcome, as Dr. Gulshan has conveyed me, that especially welcome all the principals of Punjabs who have especially joined today's session. And this today's session, they have especially joined because the topic is amazing. Topic is how best practices can be evolved in the education system. So like always, I will be talking to you through chats, chat box, as well as continuously through chat box. I will be doing the polls. You know it very well, just to take your views. So Arun Kumar ji, first of all, I would like to know from you that what is your take on the importance of best practices in any education system?
Thank you, sir. Let me first thank the organizers, the ICSF, and the moderator who could not join today. And of course, my good friend AP Sharma ji, to you, sir, who is moderating as well as who is the co-panelist. And I also thank my management who has allowed me to join and participate in the webinar. I also thank all the participants, all the students, principals, teachers who have joined this webinar. And as you know, the topic for today we have is best practices in effective learning. Sir, I would like to first of all, because as a teacher, I have the habit of explaining word by word. So best practices, what does it mean? Usually, anything which works well in a particular situation, we call it best practices. So for example, if we take the introduction of learning kits in a particular class, enhance the understanding of science and mathematics. Now, this is a simple statement, but if the same statement is supported by data over a few years, let's say 2 years, 3 years, and then we are able to quantify it, that in the last 3 years, when we introduced the learning kits, the understanding level of students in science and mathematics improved to, say, about 25% or 30%, whatever it is. Then we can call it best practices. And this is for understanding of everybody. I am sure everybody must be knowing, but just because we are talking about it, we must be clear about it. So that we call it as best practices. Now, best practices is situational also. It is not that something best practices which works for one school may be working for all schools. Usually it works, but it may not be, may or may not be. The learning part, sir, you have been my good friend, you have been my guide also, mentor also. The views, last time when we met in Bangalore, you have been the moderator, I was also the panelist there. My view on learning is a little different. We feel learning takes place by the 5 senses. It is through multiple intelligence we are able to make the children learn. It is through visual, auditory and technical things the children actually learn. I feel learning is more mysterious than what we know about. Actually, if you ask, I myself am not sure how learning takes place. It's a very mysterious process. And what I feel is that the learning is already there inside us. Just like a seed is having all the coding of a tree, I feel every cell of us is having a coding of all the entire cosmic intelligence which the universe has. So what we teachers do is not something which we teach. Actually, we simply try and help the children to discover whatever already is inherent in the child. It's just removing the extra things and the original thing comes out from the children. So this is what is the best practices. And effective learning, if learning is in true sense happening, it will be definitely effective learning. So if we put it together, best practices in effective learning, we come across like we have 3 different aspects of best practices in effective learning. And as we know, we have a triangle, which we call teacher, student, parent complex. The effective learning, if we look from the student's point of view, it would be something like I usually ask the students, I have the habit of asking them, in what situation do you feel learning better? And naturally the answer varies. Some of them say They learn better when they are learning to music, they are listening to music. Some say we learn better when we listen to loud music. Some say we feel better and we learn better when my mother is sitting beside me. Some says even one child told me, I feel very confident and I'm able to solve mathematics problems so well when I keep a small photograph of my teacher on my table. So as many students, as many views, as many learning environment, and many learning styles are there. But if we ask them, who makes you feel better while learning? And invariably there is one answer. There is no variation in this answer. Till now I haven't found any student who has given a different answer. The students say, the teacher or the friend who makes me comfortable, where I feel loved, that person makes me comfortable. So when it comes to best practices in effective learning, in terms of students, this is how students' view is there. The students' perspective is this. From students' perspective, sir, I feel if any parent is feeling my child is having confidence in facing the competitive life, and the child is having age-appropriate life skills, the parents feel, yes, the effective learning is taking place in the school. So these are the two different perspectives of the parents and of course the students. Now, as far as teachers are concerned, and before I talk about the teacher's perspective about effective learning, let me first thank all the teachers. And sir, you will agree with me, this is the time where teachers have proved themselves to be the heroes in the world. In the last few months, the kind of courage, compassion, and commitment the teachers have shown, it is unparalleled. The whole world has been shaken by this COVID-19 issue, but nobody could deter the commitment and compassion of our teachers who made it possible that the children do not suffer and the learning doesn't stop. So let me salute all the teachers on behalf of everybody, all the educators. Now, when it comes to teachers, I just imagine if suppose we are teaching 30 students in a class, and all 30 students have different learning style, all of them need different kind of learning environment, and there is one teacher. And if the teacher is teaching, suppose 5 or 6 sections, there are 30 into 5 or 6. So as many maybe between 150 to 200 students, all with different learning styles. So how difficult is the job of a teacher? We all educators must realize. And what I feel is that the task a teacher has is not less important, if not more important, not even less important than what Gandhi and Lincoln and Mandela has for them. So if they liberated the nation, I think we are shaping the nation, that the teachers are shaping the nation. So I big salute to them. So sir, if you allow me now, let me speak to the audience related to what are the best practices which we are having, or would you like me to tell you about the importance of best practices? I think that everybody knows about it. I have the best practices which I have followed in my school, which has helped us in growing over a period of time. So if you allow me, I can share that. Or sir, would you like to say something else?
Yeah, let's move like this, sir. That we will start from the elementary level. That what kind of changes are required at elementary level in the new education system, as well as in different kind of schools. So I will start, and then you can add whatever you are doing and whatever comes into your mind. So
Right.
basically, the first thing is that at the elementary level, when child is very small, he is learning most of the things picking from the environment, because in the beginning he is imitating. At home also, the parents' behavior should be very model behavior, and rather they should come in the shoes of a teacher and must behave in such a way so that children pick up all good things, good behavior, good attitude. All these things he will pick up from home. But when they come to school, in school, certain kind of requirements are there which we have to change. For example, on the same forum, another day, as a moderator in the panel discussion, I was talking about certain kind of small things which are happening, and we have to change these. For example, that day I asked them that even in the elementary level, like LKG, UKG, or you say KG1, KG2, or nursery level, we have certain kind of rhymes. And these rhymes have no meaning. And these rhymes are going on and on and on for many, many years. And I tried to find out what is the story behind these rhymes. You know, when the child is 3, the parent will tell, okay, child, start learning. Johnny, Johnny, yes, Papa, eating. Papa. Now, what child will learn from this? Nothing. Similarly, when he comes to school, the teacher is telling, okay, child, learn Baba Black Sheep. Now, what is the story behind Baba Black Sheep? First of all, he does not know Baba, he does not know Black Sheep and all other things, but just cramming. This cramming is to be stopped. Now, the story behind Baba Black Sheep is that during the Civil War of 1642 in England, rather the Civil War, when the taxation and medieval policies that time, so there was a tax on wool. So somebody wrote this particular satire. This was the satire that whatever wool we are getting, we have to give it to master and nothing is left, almost nothing is left to us. Similarly, there is another rhyme, most of the thing. Okay, let me take from the chat box. What do you see? Who are Humpty and Dumpty? In chat box, you can just write your answers. All the attendees. Humpty Dumpty sat on a wall. What do you think? Who is Humpty Dumpty? If you think is a soldier, you can write down. If you can think is a fruit, you can write down. If you think is a fat man, you can write down. Let us see. What do you think about Humpty Dumpty? On chat box. If you think he's a soldier, then write A. If you think he's a fat boy, then write B. And if you think that it's a kind of a fruit, then write C. Yeah, participants, attendees, please. Oh, yeah, answers started coming. So answers are coming A, B, C, A, B, C. An egg. Egg is also an answer. Pooja Naik ji is writing egg. Matloob ji is writing egg. Juliana Daliana is writing B. Mamta ji is writing eggs. Eggs. Most of the people are writing be a fat person, eggs. Now stop writing. You will be surprised that what is the story behind this Humpty Dumpty. Humpty Dumpty actually was a large cannon. And during the Civil War, when there was a war between the Coconut, and that time it was seized, the city was seized, and the attacking side attacked the wall of the fort. And on the fort, this Humpty Dumpty cannon was sitting because was placed, and this Humpty Dumpty was unable to do anything. So amazing, like something related to the British Civil War, and we are teaching a student considering that Humpty Dumpty may be eggs, maybe the fat man, something else, and a poor Humpty Dumpty was a cannon. Ek top thi. So why we are doing this? Similarly, Jack and Jill. Jack and Jill went up to hill. We thought Jack and Jill are two boy and girl went up to hill to fetch a pail of water. What value we will take out from this? And Jack and Jill, again a satire. It's again a satire related to the Francis King, Louis XVI, and his wife Mary. Both were beheaded after the charge of treason as well as different kind of charges. And we are teaching. So first of all, in an education system, we have to bring such kind of poetry, such kind of rhymes, which are related to children. And while reading and reciting, children will learn something. And children will learn related to character, related to value, and related to most important thing in society. And forget about Jack and Jill. Give them some name, Ram, Rahim, or Abdullah, or Raja, or Indian names, Bablu or Pappu, or any other name. Because in our childhood, we have seen the most of the names were Guddu, Munnu, Munna, Pappi, Munni. Give them these names. So they really acquainted with the names which are there. Maybe now names have changed. You can give them Julie. Maybe somebody is Julie, somebody Nanni, somebody Baby, somebody Babu. All the names you can take. But why do we take names, all the characters from Western countries? This one important thing is to be changed. Second thing, it's very important that when the child is coming in the classes, elementary level, it's very important that teach them A for all these things you can find out. Maybe an apple, maybe an ant, maybe this thing, that thing, so many things. Child with parents can find out for so many things. And I'm telling you, I told it before also, that once what happened, I went to a class and I asked children, A for, all children said apple. But there were one child, he stood up, sir, A for ant also, A for X also, A for this also. I said, very good. I said, okay, draw apple. And you will be surprised to know that 90% of children, 80 to 90% of the children, they drew very interestingly, apple phone. 10% really made an apple fruit. So the present generation is considering A for apple means apple phone, iPhone. So nothing wrong in that. But the teacher was a little bit surprised and she was annoyed with those students. I said, no, it's not wrong. A for apple phone is also correct. A for X is also correct. A for ant is also correct. So basically at this level, we have to try that we show children various kind of objects and they find with their choice, what do they like A for. If they like A for apple, good. Few children will like, no, A for X. Few children will like, no, A for ant. Few children will like, no, A for something else. So try to give them options so that they are not in a fixed mind. It's not necessary that you cram everything. It's very necessary that you create few things. One child write A for auntie. Oh, not wrong. A for auntie is also correct. A for aunt is also correct. B for Bablu is also correct. If Bablu is his friend, B for Bablu is not wrong. So thing is that creativity should start right from beginning. I have told many a times whenever I talk about this early childhood education, and now in new education policy, they have added one more year. I've told that these are most crucial year of a man, not of a student, of a man, because up to 90 to 93% of our brain develops during these formative years from 3 to 9. So a child, all neurons are developing, as well as most important thing in primary classes after 9 years, 10 years, 11 years, these are the years where we can do weeding. Weeding means take out the wrong practices, wrong habits, wrong things child has learned. Otherwise, it is said, bad habits die hard. So if a child has crossed the age of 13 or 14, as soon as he comes in teens, it's very difficult to weed out those wrong habits. So it's very, very important. So, sir, over to you. At elementary level, what else do you think that the best practices are happening in your wonderful school, as well as you can think of from your scientific mind?
I fully agree with you, sir, because those rhymes have lost relevance at this moment, and particularly those rhymes have been written in that different context of different culture. It should be culture specific. I fully agree with you. And realizing that only, the teachers in my school, they have developed rhymes for every letter, which is connected to Indian culture. They are not going through those rhymes which usually have been there, Baba Black Sheep or those things. That may be just for rhyming purpose, but when it comes to learning letters, for every letter they have written their own rhymes. And in fact, when it comes to A for apple, B for something, book, whatever it is not that they read only apple. On one page, the letter A is there, and on other page, there are all letters starting with A, and it is something minimum 5 the children must remember. There are so many others also written there, at least 10 such pictures are there from A. So these kind of things right from beginning we realized that it is required. More than this, sir, what I felt is that when the children come to school, usually first thing we do is that we have a slogan called reach before we teach. Reaching before teaching, in the sense that when the children come to us, first important thing is develop that bonding which we need. And the first few weeks, there is only play. The children and the teacher plays inside the class, outside the class, playing with them, dancing with them, singing with them, all sort of things, watching different kind of things on the screen. Then gradually we take them. So that bonding is very important. Then what we realize over a period of time that we teach the children, as you said very lightly, there is a lack of connect between the society and the school. There is a lack of connect between life skill and the teaching. So realizing that, what we had done, that the children when come to school, our school starts at 7:40. Whereas the children start dropping in, parents sometimes they work in the ministry, so they drop the children at 7 o'clock in the morning. So there are some students who come at 7, 7:10, 7:15. So from 7:10 to 7:40, there is nothing to do. So what we have developed that the children, because this is not the part of the usual curriculum, but small things like tying the laces, buttoning the shirt, gardening the watering the garden. These are the things which we have developed among the children, which has developed, folding the handkerchief. These are the small things which they do. And parents are really very happy about it, that when the child goes home and the child displays these kind of life skills at home, they really feel that these kind of things the schools usually do not teach. But this is something, as you said very rightly, it is missing in the school curriculum. And I hope when the curriculum framework is developed based on the current education policy, it takes care of those things. But that connect is very important, very, very important.
Arun Kumarji, forget about when the new curriculum framework will come. Here, people here, this particular webinar is to tell them, start it from tomorrow. Start it from tomorrow. At least start thinking from tomorrow. Don't wait for curriculum framework to come.
Sure.
Rather, start few new things as soon as you listen, because when it is government, and in government system, many things will come, many things will be interpreted correctly, many things will be misinterpreted. And in the system, again, teacher will try that, okay, I will stick to whatever is given in the book. That's all. Not necessary.
True.
Teachers in India are great and creative. My salute to them. The way they have come up during this pandemic with the online classes, I have seen various kind of jugards. I have seen various kind of systems through which they are trying to reach despite this digital divide. Whether it's been Haryana or been Jharkhand or been West Bengal, everybody is trying to reach out to their students with some kind of medium. So they are innovative. Only thing is, we have to give them opportunity to think. If we give them opportunity to think, they will think and they can do wonders. So right now, when we are talking about elementary education, two things are very important. One thing is construction of values and character. Because whatever character you have made right from your childhood will remain throughout with you till your old age. If you are dishonest, you will remain dishonest throughout. It will be very difficult for you to come out of this particular or to alter this particular behavior. If you are a liar, then you will remain liar. So I'm not saying that it will continue, but it will be very difficult for changing attitude. So it's very important that right from beginning, we try to imbibe certain kind of values in a child so that he learn. For example, I told my teachers and I tell parents also, purposely you try sometimes to commit a mistake and tell child in front of, sorry Joanna, or sorry Anil, or sorry Ramu, or sorry, whatever is the name, sorry Neha, thank you Neha, welcome Neha, how are you Neha? It's very good. In our school, if somebody comes and somebody is asking, how are you? All children will say, we are fine, thank you, sir, and how about you? It's very important. Most of the time, we know that we, even elder people who are older enough, and that what we do, somebody is asking, how are you? We will say, fine, thank you. Why? Somebody is asking you, how are you? It is your duty and courtesy that you also ask, how about you? But we forget. So children will also forget. Sometimes somebody is thank you, and we say, okay. Why? Say welcome. So the thing is, right from home, in the classes, the teacher has to create certain kind of circumstances. And these circumstances must be created intentionally so that they can use the word sorry. So child will think, oh, saying sorry is not a big deal. Otherwise, a small child of class 3 is having amazing ego. Will not say sorry, will start crying, everything, will not say sorry. Because he did not find saying sorry at home.
Yes.
Same thing is here. Thank you. Why? And you will find if a class 3 or age 3 child, if you will go and say, I'm coming to your home and please will you give me a toy? They'll say, no, my toy is lost, or this has happened, because we did not we did not give them the feeling of sharing and also the happiness what comes out of sharing. It's very important for parents and even teachers to imbibe this particular most important skill among children. A survey was done and the same question was asked to all the students. You will not believe 94% students said they don't want to share when they are of age 3. How can you think that they will be able to share when they will grow old? Very difficult. Sharing is very important practice. This is to be done. Now, at this age, again, what happens? You should not consider somebody as a winner and a loser. So whatever kind of competitions you have, I have seen many times, even in KG1 and KG2, when I was principal in Delhi, then the parents are coming to me and telling when I joined, they said, sir, 3 medals that child has got because the teacher is doing favoritism and that's why this child has got 3. And I've seen one parent was very furious on her child and she was telling, Nina, you did not get anything. You are a curse for us. My God, I said, why? So I made a simple rule that there will be competitions, but at the end, every child will get one trophy and this trophy will be, there will be engraved on this, I am a winner. So every parent is happy that his child is getting one trophy on which it is written, I am a winner. And that kind of thinking of competition, jealousy will not come in that particular age. And when this will not come, children will think, oh, everybody can achieve. Otherwise, few children get exposed to the snubbing system and child will not come and participate, does not speak at all. And it's very important. As per the Howard Gardner's multiple intelligence theory, it's very important that at early years, it's very important you find out and discover who is the child who wants to learn what way. Like in the beginning, Arun Kumarji, you mentioned very clearly. So I'm putting up one question in the chat box again, that do you really think that in a classroom there should be more than one teacher and every teacher should reach out to different students in the beginning to identify who is the child who is learning or responding by telling only? There will be few whom you have to go and touch their cheeks, then they will start speaking. There will be few whom you will hug and then they will start. Yes, I'm getting all yes. Yes, very nice. Raksha Madam ji saying yes, Jaydeep ji saying yes, Vinit. Oh, there are people from Philippines also, Indonesia also. Amazing. Asian countries people. So everybody is saying yes. But really we don't do in practice. So all the principals who are listening, please try that in your class, particularly in KGs and all, have 2 teachers or 2.5 teachers, means 1 teacher between 2 classes. And then every child try to discover in first week that who is the child who wants to learn and who wants to respond by different kind of things. You will find at your home also, different kind of people have different kind of children. One child you will say, beta drink milk. He will drink milk. Another child will be that he will ask, Mama, where is my milk? And third child will be that Mama is going here and there, beta, please drink the milk. Otherwise, Baba will come drink the milk. Otherwise, I will complain to the principal. I will complain to, then he is drinking the milk. So even children have this particular tendency. Same thing they will expect in classroom also. Few of them need some kind of pampering. You have to pamper them. Nothing wrong in pampering them in class by saying, oh, lovely child. I have seen few teachers. I was having few teachers when I was in Delhi, even in Doha also. These KG teachers were amazing and they used to shower such kind of love and affection on children, calling them, darling, please come. Juhi, darling, please come. Baba Shell, please come. And children were so happy. And sometimes these children used to say their mom, why can't you say us darling? Good. So important thing is child should be felt. Child should be felt that he is a child. And then his or her presence should be felt in the classroom. Every child is unique and the presence of every child should be felt. This means not every day you are asking all the questions to Gauri and Keshav. Ask sometimes questions from Julie, sometimes from Babu, sometimes from sometimes from Abdullah, sometimes from Shami, sometimes from Jahida, sometimes. So every child feel that, yeah, I'm going to the class and I will be asked questions. And rather it is better that you start the class by telling them to ask question. One day I did this exercise. I told children, all children ask one question, and you have to ask one question. So one child pick up me only and said, "Sir, why you are principal?" My God, I had to answer in a very simple way that okay, I am principal because I want to see all of you happy and I want to ensure that the teachers are keeping you happy. And then child said, "I love you, sir. Very nice." One child stood up and he asked, "Ma'am, why do you apply this? Why this lipstick?" Oh, it was very difficult for teacher. She said, "Okay, your mama does it." Yes. I'm telling you, from next day, teachers stopped applying lipstick in the classroom. And these KG teachers decided, okay, we will not apply lipstick when we are coming to the classroom. So child also, small child will also be distracted if you are coming to the class over decorated. That child will not look into the blackboard, will look at you on a lighter note. Don't take it otherwise. But children must be given an opportunity to ask questions. One child will ask questions, another child will ask question. In KG, you know, it's a kind of a communicable disease. It goes like this, that one child is asked question and another, everybody will ask question. And sometimes everybody will ask question, same question. You have to tell them ask different questions. So first thing they will learn that not necessarily copying is important thing. Because if you will go to classroom in KG classes, you will say, beta, you have brought breakfast bread. Then every child who has not brought the bread will also say, I have also brought the bread. I brought the bread yesterday. I brought the bread tomorrow. I will bring the bread tomorrow. Tell them at that level only that they need not copy. Go and ask questions relevant to them. Very important skill. Please, teachers and principals, remember this. This is very important skill right from KG. Bring them to their relevance questions. Don't try to see that, okay, everybody is copying or everybody is repeating everything what you are telling. So Arunji, again a question that at elementary level we are giving more time, because elementary level more time is given in new education policy also, 5 years. So at this elementary level, what else do you think? We have seen few videos that once there is a teacher outside the classroom. So when children are coming, children will be saying few things or greeting in a different way. And greeting in a different way means there are four things are pasted. One is hand, one is hugging, one is something. So they are putting the hand here, that I want to hug. So child will go and put his hand on the hug. I want to say, I want to smile, will put hand on a smile. So with sign language, so right from entry into the school and classroom, they feel they are blessed. What else is in your Petara?
Sir, let me first add to what you said. Till grade 5, we have actually disbanded competition. There is no competition till grade 5.
Great.
And all the students get a certificate in every term, and that appreciation certificate is based on the student profile which the teachers make based on the anecdotal records of the children. So every mother teacher, every homeroom teacher is maintaining a student profile in which she writes the anecdotal records. Then whatever responsibilities are given to the children, the way they perform in the class, these are all recorded. At the end of the term, everyone is given an appreciation certificate. The best leader in the class, the best monitor for so-and-so, the best one who watered the garden. These are all different ways in which we appreciate the children. So there is no competition as such. And I'm a regular visitor in KG grade 1 and grade 2, particularly in these classes. And I have found so many times the children telling the ma'am as mama. So that shows the connection between the child and the teacher. So as you said rightly, this is an extended home for us, for the children, it should be extended home. And they refer, many times I have listened to them referring mama. Then I would like to share with you, maybe you must have heard this very famous case, since you are talking about a child's particular habit which grows until the adulthood it continues. There is a very famous case in the US which happened many years back. in which a person was sentenced to be hanged. Now, when he was hanged, the judge asked him, "Do you have any last wish?" He said, "Yes." He said, "What?" He said, "My parents should be hanged." And the
Very
judge was surprised. I said, "Why are you asking your parents to be hanged? You have committed this crime. You should be hanged." He said, "No. The first day I brought a pencil from the school without letting anybody know, my parents did not say anything. The second time I brought a pencil box from the school, my parents did not say anything. The next time I brought some books and the notebooks from the school, my parents did not say anything." So I thought it's acceptable. It's an accepted norm. It's not that the child did something wrong. The child developed that habit because nobody was there to tell that this is something which you need to avoid and you should not do it. So you said this is what is there, and this is what you call the character building right from beginning. And the parents, as you know, the first teacher are the parents itself. But in the school, and that is why the parent-teacher connection is important. You are asking me regarding my school, sir. What we have done, we have given contact number of the teachers, mother teachers, to every parent. The respective parent are having the phone number of the mother teachers. We have a school app through which there is a constant contact, which nowadays every school is having the school app. But in addition to that, we have given the parents the phone numbers. And in the evening, there is a fixed time. Depends upon the teacher's convenience. Some give time 6 to 7, some give 7 to 8. The parents are free to call to the teacher and talk about the student. So this constant connection and constant feedback has helped a lot. And there was a culture earlier that when anything coming from the parent was taken as a complaint. Now the teachers and the parents have realized there is no complaint, it's all concern. So she is my child, she is your child as well. So all children in the school are our children. Respective parents have their own children. So this culture has developed where there is no complaint, it's all concern. So this has really revolutionized the primary education, and particularly when it comes to life skill building, it is really amazing, sir. The children, you will be surprised to note, sir, what happened actually one day, there was KG assembly and the teachers were prompting. I said, let the children speak themselves. And the teacher said that time, said, "Sir, they are too small, they may not be able to do it." I said, "Let us try, beta. Let us try once or twice." And it was amazing, sir. The children of KG, grade 1, grade 2, grade 3, these are the children who do not carry any paper because they are not, also they are not in a position to read. So they remember everything, they say anything. One day he was reading a prayer because prayer place thought is the regular in assembly. So one day she read a prayer. I said, "Beta, if you have to say a prayer by yourself, not written by your ma'am, what would you say?" And the child said, "Sir, I will say, 'I love you, God.'" I said, "That's all. This is your prayer." So in my school, sir, there is a culture in which the assembly is all scripted by the children, except those which are holy scriptures, announcement from holy scriptures, rest everything is done by the children. They write their script, the prayer, pledge, thought, the script of the skit, choreography, everything is done by the children itself.
Yeah, beautiful comments are also coming. Sunila Salyanji is telling that, yeah, we underestimate them. And like Arunji, I'm also a frequent visitor, very frequent visitor to KG classes, because whenever my mood is off, I will go KG classes and I'm very fresh. And I must tell you that I have learned so many things from children. And the most important thing I have learned is amazing. I tell you one incident I told in one of the World Education Summit, that one day on Teachers' Day, all children were coming, but only KG children were not supposed to come. So all of a sudden I saw one KG child has come with his parent, and she's telling, "I want to meet principal, I want to meet principal." And she came to me and she gave me one piece of paper. I said, "Beta, you were not supposed to come today." "No, sir, I thought I will come." I opened the paper and it was written, "Very good." I said, "You are giving me very good? Why?" She said, "Sir, I thought that it's your birthday." I said, "No, it's not my birthday, but why you are giving me very good?" She said, "Sir, when it was my birthday, you came to my class and you gave me good." My God, at that time, I thought I'm a loser. Why? Because if I would have given her excellent on her birthday, I would have got better than excellent in reciprocation. So amazing
Yeah.
example that whatever we give child will give better than that in reciprocation.
No,
Is
no doubt.
love and they will give. And we learn from we learn various things from various people. I learned one very good practice from my predecessor, uh, Mr. Srivastava was the principal before me, and I learned this thing that in school I used to reach the school half an hour before any child comes. When children are coming, for that half an hour, I stand up at the main gate and I wish all the children good morning. At main gate, I wish all the children, and especially all KG children, will come to me and they will give me high five. All of them will come and give me high five. And on every Sunday, Sunday is a working day in Middle East. You know, Friday is a holiday. So Sunday is so every Sunday I give them some surprise. Sometimes chocolate, sometimes some stickers, sometimes star. So we have made a wonderful bonding among themselves. So that bonding right from beginning starts. And I
Yes.
learned this, and I salute the principals and the students from I learned and teachers. We can learn so many interesting things from children. Children are the best teachers in the world
True.
because they do most of the things innocently. Now, coming to very basic education, that at that level we have to develop two important things in child at KG, KG2 and class 1. One thing is to observe. Like if we are teaching child hot and cold, then bring something a little bit lukewarm, something cold, and teach them this is lukewarm, this is cold. Instead of telling them that winters are cold and summers are hot, give them some kind of practice. If you want to teach them soft and hard, give them soft and hard, good two surfaces, and they can really think. One more important thing is comprehension. That this is very important at this level. There is a skill set which is called LSRW, and Dr. Gulshanji used to appreciate this, but this is not my invention. This is used very extensively. LSRW means every child will learn in this process that first he listens, then he speaks, then reading, and then writing. So in these classes we have to follow LSRW system, and in this comprehension is very important. If one sentence child is studying, ask them what do you mean by this. Like suppose you are teaching them that there is a house, and in this house father came from office and he is angry. Now ask children, what do you mean by this? Child will think he is angry because he has been scolded by his boss. Another child of class 1 will say, no, maybe that he would have a minor accident. Somebody will say he got some not good news. So very important is that whatever they are reading, they must write, they must comprehend. So in various sentences, it is very important. You know, one particular word is said in various terms. And if child know that different kind of high pitch and low pitch is used for different kind of expressions and emotions, they will not. Like for example, we say, please sit down. We say, please sit down. And we say, please sit down. Same word, same frame of words, but different emotions. If child learn these small things right from beginning, they can use their language, their speech, their expression in correct pitch. And of course it's very important that they always have a proper tone, high pitch, low pitch, and that can make their expression very important. And third thing is being original. Most of the time we have seen that in the class 1 or kindergarten, the drawing teacher will come and will make 5 petals of a flower and will say, okay, everybody make like I'm making it. 5 petals made, and then said, okay, color them yellow. Everybody is coloring yellow. There is a true incident, somebody has shared it, that in one class one child came from another school, and as soon as teacher said make flower, he started making flower. And when he made the flower, there were 7 petals, and all the petals were of different color. There is teaching. The teaching is different. So teacher said, you have made it wrong. But he said, I like it. I have made it like this only. So child went home and said, Mama, I made this, but teacher did not like. I will not go to the school. Next day, the parent came to school and asked teacher, why, sir, this is the problem. So teacher said he was not following my instruction. I said, by chance, the principal was also there. Principal said, why do you want to instruct everything? Let them think freely. Let them think happily. Let them think there and let them imagine their expression. Tell them that prepare a flower or show them 7 or 8 type of flowers and tell them prepare flower of your choice. They will imagine. So imagination will come. They will come out of copying. Their imagination will have different kind of things. What kind of imagination they have, sir? I will tell you very interesting thing. I went to a class and teacher was asking, what do you want to become? One child said, I want to become a doctor because my father is a doctor. I want to become an engineer because my dadi says that you should become an engineer. There was one small girl, she said, sir, I want to become the key of my dad's car. My God. I said, why you want to become the key of your dad's car? She said, because my father keep it close to his heart. Means the key was kept in the pocket every time. Amazing expression. My God. You give them opportunity and they will learn so many things. So my question to participants, attendees is, shall be given freedom to children to do certain kind of artwork and expression, then write A, or we should tell them to copy like every time it is happening for many, many years. Oh, I'm getting A.
All,
Sir, here
all A will come.
attendees go with me.
All A will come.
My salute to all, Mrs. Bitta, Mrs. Arvind Kumari, Rajita Sejuji, Manisha ji, Naifa ji, Bhumika ji, Shankar Roy, Kavita Joshi ji. Amazing. I can see the change coming in, sir. There are many teachers who will become principal very soon, and who are principals, they will change the whole system and children will have good. Please remember, teachers. I learned this from another good motivational speaker, that all of us belong to BC. You know BC? The BC era. BC era is before computers era. Because when we were studying, there was no computer.
Yes.
And the children whom we are teaching are AD era. But this AD is after digitalization. So we have to somewhere improve upon ourselves, our skills, so that we can also come in this AD era.
Right.
And then it's very, very important that early years that we give them opportunity to observe. One day I was taking a 2-hour workshop. I took on this thing only. And then there was like, tell children, this is push. What is push? Tell them, bring one small lorry or something, or that kind of thing which we used to, of the wooden, 3-wheel wooden small thing, you can make it. And then this is pull and this is push. Why this is pull? Why this is push? Let them experience this is pull and this is push. If there is a small cart, just imagine this is a small cart. Then tell them that why this in this cart, these handles are long. When a person is pulling it or pushing it, try to make some difference. Let's come to, sir, primary and middle education. What are best practices in your school? And you think, come out of the school also, you would be having some dreams to do, in classes, especially middle school. Please come with your deliberations.
The basic thing which I look for is a very close knit relation between the teacher, parent, and student. And I have practiced and I have tried a kitchen connect with the science and mathematics. When the subjects are being taught, when different topics are taught, particularly say the topics like measurement, topic like different food grains and different climatic conditions, we have given them those kind, because we follow a kind of practice which we call as flip learning, in which we give the learning outcomes to the parents well in advance. So parents also know that every class has a learning objective. And in this class today, this is the learning objective. Learning resources are already shared with them. So they know that this is the link which they click, they come to know these are the things they have to do. And the students, they go home and they ask the parents, give me this spoon, this spoon, give me this, and things like say measurement. So if you ask a child, what is the measurement of a tablespoonful or a teaspoonful? Generally, even the senior students won't be able to answer. But after we develop these kind of habits, the children know what is 5 ml, what is 10 ml, and what are the different kind of items which are available in the kitchen. They see the water boiling, why water boils. So all these curiosities started coming when we connected this. At the same times, parents started appreciating, because for them, the mother get involved. When the mother could not explain few things, the father also get involved. So it became a kind of a complex, which we always talk about, that parent, student, teacher complex. So it has really developed the basic understanding of particularly mathematics and science. Second thing, what we did, like say children, when the mathematics teacher, they teach money and all those. So we told the parents, when you are taking the children to the grocery shop, show them the bill and ask them to calculate how you calculate these many items. Per item, this is the cost, the total amount is this, and then final bill is this. Then you gave this amount, and then this amount was returned. So everything related to multiplication, all the basic operations came in mathematics. So these kind of practices really help the children. And of course, the parents are really happy about basic understanding, which has enhanced in the class. Then as regards the book reading, because we have a system which we call as every Tuesday, we have a system, we call it Readathon, in which the entire school reads. We started this naming as Dear Time. Dear is drop everything and read. So that time the whole school reads. Admin staff, all the teachers, all the students, myself, I take the round in the corridor with a book. So with this, students are really getting interested in reading books. And last year, we thought, since Dear Time is already going on, let us have a kind of, not a competition, but an appreciation for those children who read a lot. So the teachers identified the children who read a lot. The teachers saw even during the dispersal time, when the children are sitting in the bus line, there also the children started reading, because it was the number. So they said some of the students read 50 books, some of them read 60 books. And based on that, we had a kind of interaction with the teachers. We asked questions from the students to verify whether they really read those books. And then we declared during the annual day, on that big platform, we declared the champion readers. That really worked very well in appreciating those children and promoting reading. So these are small little things which has really helped in making the children interested in reading and understanding the concepts.
Sir, in middle school, I will give you some food for thought, and then we will require some deliberations. See, in middle school, I'm trying, right, like I was having the same kind of thing when I was principal in Delhi, and in Doha also I'm trying, and the management has already approved last year, and we have started working on it, that I want to make a lab, and this lab will have all such kind of apparatus and such kind of materials and things which are used in home. This means in this particular lab, child will know, in middle school I'm telling, child will know how to fix the bulb. In this particular lab, child will understand how to make kaj jo banaya jata hai button ka, how to make that kaj, how to make button. In this lab, child will learn how to use saw. जो आरी होता है, how to use saw, some woodwork, some electrical work, some electronic work, and this will be a lab for life living. Life living means there will be that what is the meaning of wattage, what is the meaning of watt, how when you are buying bulb, then what should be 0 watt, 5 watt, 10 watt, 20 watt, what is purpose of that? When voltage is written, ampere is written, what is the meaning? See, at this level, it is not very important that you teach them definition of volt and the ampere. Tell them that what is the purpose, the common sense related things, as well as tell them that if all the lights are off, then how can you fix fuse? Tell them in this particular lab that there are MCBs which goes down, and generally it is like not up to down, it is down to up. So child will go to the down to up, and MCB he will correct it. Similarly, wrench and small screwdrivers, and how to use screwdrivers. These small, very small things for which we generally call a plumber, we generally call electrician, or we wait for somebody, a big person come to, okay, Mumtaz is asking that please mention again about BC and AD. So on their demand, I'm saying BC is before computer age. Like it is said before Christ. So BC, in my opinion, is before computer age, and AD is after digital. So when we were students, we were not having computers. So we are from that age. And right now, children who are born and who are in the primary school and all, they are AD. after digitalization. So I will come to the point in this particular lab, and this lab I will be giving a name that these are the skills, common sense skills, the skills of common sense. So very basic things. Your mother need not tell that you cannot put the water and you cannot put the glass of steel or other metal in the microwave. What is refrigerator? Don't try to see that why lights is getting on and why light getting off in refrigerator. So all small things, many things. And as you said, you gave me very wonderful hint, and I was trying this like to my children in this holiday homework. I have given them very interesting kind of things. I said all children should know, first of all, how to make bed. All children should know that how to polish your shoes. Polishing shoes is very important. If your shoes are polished and somebody has really told you something bad and somebody has scolded you and you are a student, always you will look at your shoes and your shoes will give you a wonderful message. Ah, dear, we are still shining.
Yes.
So you will get that comfort. But if your shoes are dirty and you have been scolded, your shoes will say we are dirty and so you are. So polishing shoes is very important. Dignity of labor, they must know. I've told them that, okay, other than that, what will you do? You will cut every day some kind of salad, whatever is middle school I'm talking, cut the salad. You will be keeping your all the utensils after the lunch and dinner to the sink and will try to wash them on your own. Similarly, you will learn how to make tea. Now, how to make tea, I will ask you that there is a lot of physics in that. How to make tea. So why don't you put sugar and tea leaves in the beginning? Many mothers are putting sugar and leaves. Okay, let us ask in chat box. A lot of time has gone. So in chat box question, when you prepare the tea, when will you put tea leaves and sugar? In the beginning, then write A, and in the end, write B. My God, few B, A, both are coming. Very nice, very nice. This was good question because it is now all B's are coming. Yes. See, very simple science behind that is that water should boil to the boiling point. Otherwise, if you will add something in the beginning, the boiling point will increase. This means your water will take more time to boil. So let the water boil, then put tea leaves and then put sugar, or sugar and tea leaves. Few people prefer to put tea leaves even after taking the water out of that, so that the fragrance and aroma of tea leaves is there, ginger and everything. But generally, whenever we try to make the tea, we put everything. So the taste of the tea will be different. Yeah, now I'm getting all B. So B is correct answer. And from kitchen, you can learn so many things in kitchen. So basically in middle school, that lab is my dream, and I will request all the principals and teachers and the owners of schools to have that particular lab, which teach them simple life skills, simple life skills. And it's very important that everybody makes the bed in the morning, because that gives a direct signal to your brain that this person is systematic. So if your takeoff is good, only the most important thing will be landing should be good. Otherwise, your plane will go in autopilot mode throughout the day. So while landing, thank God for everything. So you have a good landing. Try to do it. Right from beginning, brain gets a message that this person is systematic. So I have to use the systematic way of doing the work. Good. Train your mind. Your mind is one of your student. Please remember, if your mind is your student, then train your mind to be the way you like it to be. Try to read between the lines. So over to you, Arun Kumarji, in middle school, what ideas you will give so that children get involved into vocational education without considering it vocational education? Because earlier it was SUPW, and people used to say in funny ways, sorry to the system, they used to say some useful period wasted. SUPW, some useful period wasted. And it was like that only. In one day, in 1 week, and the teacher is coming, not coming, and trying to teach them something SUPW, nothing, no output came. Rather in our time, I learned woodwork. I learned how to make this car small tailoring and all. All these things should come. Rather, Arun Kumarji, you can recollect in class 2 or 3, we were having takli. You know,
Yes,
takli se soot
yes,
banana. All
yes.
that thing. These are the skills. These are the skills which tell you how to think. Over to you, sir. And we are getting very beautiful comments from here. Jahida madam is saying wonderful. Basically, we have opportunity and all good things are coming. Social science teachers, we teach them how to live a good citizen and all. Yes, sir. Over to you.
Sir, lab is a very good idea. Definitely, we should go ahead with the lab. At the same time, what we have done in the school, we have created one activity period. And in that activity period, different grades had a different syllabus. There are set of activities which have been planned for them throughout the year. And that is once in a week. So there are 4 activities in 1 month for every class. And all such activities like fixing the bulb, taking out the fuse, marking the different ratings of the bulbs, all these things are the part of this. In addition to that, there are different other activities also involved in this, particularly role plays. In middle school, we involve the children in the role play for sensitizing them for different kind of things. So you will find them doing the role plays. They will be doing different kind of activities like say painting, different kind of, even the senior grade when they go, they start writing CV, their own CV they write. There is a mock interview which is there. Then all sort of things which develop the children's, even the tactical skills. So middle school is basically developing and orienting them towards the higher studies. So all such subjects are basically connected right from beginning to life. And when it comes to this level, it is basically experiential learning for them. So whatever they have learned, they put into practice. And in addition to that, for every grade, till grade 8, we have learning kits. Those learning kits are for science and mathematics. We are also thinking, in fact, some of the students are so much interested. Once some children asked me in the assembly, sir, we have very good kits for mathematics and science. Why can't we have it for languages and social science? So we are thinking of that line now because those kits have really helped the children. When they are taught something, say even the bulb is taught, there is a bulb inside, there's a small bulb inside, there is a cell inside, there is a wire inside, there is a switch inside. So they connect and see the bulb glowing. Then they take different kind of material and they check whether it is a conductor or a non-conductor. It's an insulator or a conductor. So all these things are put in a kit given to the students. And when the teacher teaches this concept, then they practice it. They do it hands-on. So basically in middle school, connecting them to the concept is what we are doing, sir.
That is very important, sir. And I know for the language, it is very good that in new education policy they will be reading in mother tongue initially, and mother tongue should be given a due weightage. Otherwise, we will forget our culture. In India, we will forget our culture and everything because there are so many epics, there are so many great things. These all want to do great things in life. That is very important. Now, basically, like English, in one of the workshops, somebody asked me, sir, how to improve the English of children? I said, give them way to expression.
Yes.
Now, I went to a particular workshop, and then this was principal's workshop. In principal's workshop, this question was asked. Said how? I said, okay, let us play a story game. We will knit a story, and I will giving you an incident that you have started a journey from Delhi to New York, and tell me what happens. And you can imagine whatever. So the first principal stood up and said, sir, I went in the car, I took the taxi, I reached the airport. I said, yes, stop. Then second principal said, sir, I went into the plane and I saw next to me, Amitabh Bachchan is sitting. So some creativity is coming. So the next principal said something very interesting. I asked Amitabh Bachchan, how are you? And how is Jayaji? And how is everything? And Aradhya and all, and this. And then all of a sudden, one lady came, and who was he? Oh, he was one of the Hollywood heroine. Okay. Then there was one principal, and he tried to play smart. He said, sir, what happens? After that, my plane crashed in the sea. My God. Now I said, this may happen in your classroom also. So I said, okay, now I took that, said, okay, so what happened when this person has said that the plane crashed in the sea? And I said, I opened my eyes and I said, oh my God, this was a dream. Plane is still going. So it is very important that if somebody want to crash your idea, then you should be having presence of mind to put the things again. So in classes, you can give them expression, freedom of expression, and sometimes you should be on the steering, so that you can steer the things in a correct direction, and children are expressing their ways. And basically, like somebody has written the street plays, and there are so many ideas. You don't give them a script, let them prepare the script, and you give them words, correct words, and correct kind of expression, and they will certainly do amazing things in life. Uh, so
Sir, I would suggest,
it is very important that classroom management. What should be the classroom management in middle school? Please.
so before that, I would like to suggest you one thing more for the assembly part particularly, because many of the schools I have seen, the assembly is really house-wise. And this was the same in our school also when I joined, the assembly was house-wise. And I found very few students were getting chance to speak in the assembly. So I changed the assembly to section-wise. So every child is getting opportunity to come on the stage at least once in a year. And the assembly is a kind of talent show for them. So for that particular class, everything in the assembly is organized by them, as I mentioned earlier, except the Holy Scriptures lines. Everything written by them. So language development is taking place at the same time. Coordination between the students and the teacher is taking place, and all sorts of things, which is there, what we call it the holistic development. It is art, music, dance, literature, everything is developing through that. And every child is waiting for the turn to come on the assembly now. So changing from house system to section system, class system, it has worked wonders. And as you said, sir, while teaching, our English teacher also do similar kind of things. Like say, once they were discussing about some movie, it was some movie. And the children said, ma'am, we did not like the ending of the movie. It was not good. So then she said, why can't we create a different ending? Let us create a different ending of that movie. So the children wrote a different ending to that movie. Sometimes the teacher stops in between and tells, okay, now story stops here. From here onwards, you have to create your own story. So as you said beautifully, this is what we need to develop. The expression is very important for the children. And this is what we have to encourage them to do. So.
Yeah, that's a very good. And just again, coming to the participants, how many of you have zero period in your school? Please say yes or no. Attendees, yes. Zero period. Yes, 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 yes. Yes, 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 yes. No. Somebody is saying no also. Yes, yes. Osarji is saying yes. Enkaji is saying yes. Shobnaji is saying yes. There are some no's also. Yes. So I have seen so many yes. I ask you question that how many of have zero period in. First of all, please do one thing. If you are principal, then change the nomenclature of this zero period to E period or enriching period. Once you have in mind zero period, then there is a psychology of child as well as teacher that this is zero period for zero learning and zero teaching. So please make a new nomenclature, start calling it E period, means enriching period. So children will come with this philosophy, oh, we will be enriched. Teacher will go that, okay, our knowledge will be enriched. So I'm getting now very good things. Yeah, homeroom period, change, no homeroom period. Tell them enrichment period, E period, enrichment period in the beginning, and try to do the circle time, try to narrate them some story. And most important thing, every teacher, whenever go to their classroom, I tell always, and I have put this in the lesson plan, and the Royal Society of London has really appreciated that. I said that make the one important task of the lesson plan is whenever the teacher is coming to the class, they must connect to the classroom, because in your classroom, there are different batteries. These students are like different batteries. One battery is fully charged. One battery is half charged. One battery is not charged. One battery is looking to be charged. So as soon as you enter inside the classroom, please connect to all the batteries. So all the batteries are charged. Now how? You will be surprising that when I conduct my workshops, and Arun Kumarji knows it very well, and there are few principals like Shayad Shaukat Alizi is there, and Asha ma'am is there, who are girl principals, that whenever I conduct my workshop of principals also, I start with one, that if I will say aha, then you have to say oho. And in the same, if I'm saying aha, then you have to say oho. If I say oh ho ho, then you have to say ahaha. So in my workshop, everybody look. And then anytime I say, aha, when I say that concentration is not good, then I will say, aha, then everybody will, oh my God. And then will say, oh, oh, oh. And you will not believe when I go to mall and all, and if my KG child is there, he will come and will ask me, sir, aha, and I will say, oh. So this has become a very good language. And then I have few workshops in which I say, if I will say shakalaka, you will say boom boom. If I will say boom boom, you will say shakalaka in same tune. If I say shaka boom, then you will say laka boom. I have done it for principals and teachers, and believe me, there was amazing classes. So first of all, it is very important that you charge everybody in the classroom. So if they are charged, and not necessarily you take these two things, you can take few more things, anything from your side, but all batteries must be charged in the classroom. Then they will be on the receiving end. And try that, you tell them to ask questions. And Arun sir has given very good idea that before that, if you can send them a mail that tomorrow we will be discussing this, then children will come prepared to ask some questions. Give them opportunity to ask questions and questions and questions. Sir, amazing session it was. And anything, the cherry on the cake, if you want to keep, over to you for your concluding remarks.
Nothing much, sir. I would like to say, actually, whenever I meet teachers, I always appreciate them for their hard work. And I always tell them, see, love children, and in return, God will bless you. And we always should keep a kind of, you must be knowing the Sergei Bubka, who is a player, pole vault player, a Russian player,
yes,
who used to break his own record. So competition should be always with the self. So how better we are today as compared to yesterday, that should be the question. And loving children, a school is a good school when the children say, I love my school, and the teachers say, I love my school.
Oh, wonderful. There is in the chat box that how to do it on, how to charge the batteries on online teaching. I'm taking in these webinars, I ask same question, and children are typing, parents are typing, oh, this will work there also, don't worry. There should be charge in you, and you will feel that children will also reciprocate in the same charge. So sir, towards end, I will take these young students from Northeast who are the semesters of the country to give some message. So I will start with, and first of all, there were 26 participants in the beginning and till end of the webinar, and many who are there on the other places would be above 3,000 to 4,000. It was amazing session. So first I will start with Shelvi Sharma. Shelvi Sharma, beta, just come on video. Unmute yourself. Shelvi Sharma. Can you hear me? Okay, let's wait. I think QNSale is already on the mic. QNSale, just come on video, and what you want to say, just please say it. KUENSEL Dolma. QNSale Dolma. Please come on video and please, unmute yourself and talk to us. Give your message.
Hello, good evening, sir.
Yeah, come on video, beta.
Sir, I'm fine. I'm good. How about you?
Yeah, I'm fine. Thank you. Very good. You are amazing. You have learned many good things. Yeah, please. What you want to say to all world who is listening you?
So, first of all, I would like to say I will not be talking about women empowerment or any youth day or something, but I would rather like to dedicate this stand to the whole nation. As tomorrow is our 74th Independence Day, so I would like to sing a song.
Oh, amazing.
So,
amazing. Tricolor on your cheek. Please go ahead.
यहाँ वहाँ सारा जहाँ देख लिया है, कहीं भी तेरे जैसा कोई नहीं है, ऐसे नहीं सौ न दुनिया घुमा, नहीं कहीं तेरे जैसा कोई नहीं, मैं गया जहाँ भी बस तेरी याद थी, जो मेरे साथ थी, मुझको तड़पाती रुलाती, सबसे प्यारी तेरी सूरत, प्यार है बस तेरा प्यार ही, माँ तुझे सलाम, माँ तुझे सलाम,
Wonderful, wonderful. And
अम्मा तुझे सलाम.
to all the listeners, स्वतंत्रता दिवस की पूर्व संध्या पर सबको बधाई और ढेर सारी शुभकामनाएं. I'll move to Jobalakshmi. Jobalakshmi, are you hearing me? Yeah,
Yes,
please
sir.
unmute yourself and come on video, and whatever you want to say, please say. The whole world is listening you.
Thanks, sir.
Sir, good evening, Sir Sharma. Good evening,
Yes.
Sir Arun Kumar. And also good evening, everyone. And I wish Sir Gulshan Sarma to get well soon.
Yeah.
And it is a great pleasure to be here on this platform. And I also would like to present some of my views regarding the topic
Please unmute
women
yourself.
empowerment.
Unmute yourself. Quencel.
Salah.
Okay. I will mute you.
Sir.
Yeah, Jobalakshmi, please carry on.
I also would like to share some of my views regarding the topic women empowerment.
Please.
And we all know that men and women are equal, but still some women are thinking that they are lesser than men. So if the woman have confidence, courage, and determination in herself, then she could bring about a significant change for the equality of men and women. And the last message that I want to give to all the women is that stand up, speak up, dream big, have faith, and always follow your heart. And sir, lastly, what I want to say is that tomorrow is the 74th Independence Day of India. So I want to give an advance wish to everyone present over here. So happy Independence Day.
Thank you. Thank you,
sir.
Jobalakshmi.
Thank
What do
you,
you do?
and same to
Are
you.
a student or you are in a college?
Thank you. No, I'm in the high school,
High school. Which class?
class 11.
Oh, very good thought. Thank you very much. Let me see if Shelby Sharma is there. Shell, unmute yourself and come on video. I think he's not able to connect. So let me move to Vyusti, V-Y-U-S-T-Y. Vyusti, Vyusti, please unmute yourself and come.
Hello, sir.
Yes, come on
Good
video.
evening to everyone.
Come on video. Yeah, you have muted again, so just unmute.
Hello, sir. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we
Yes.
can hear. Yes, yes, we can see you.
Sir, I would like to convey this message and every woman and every girl in this world that from the very old times, women were considered to be lesser in the society, and now it is much better than before, but it is not the best yet, and some are still underprivileged and some do not go to school. So I would like to tell all the women that we can do our best and we have to stand up for ourselves and we can be the best and be equal with everyone else.
So, Vyusti, what class are you studying in?
Sir, I'm in 10th class.
Oh, good, good, Vyusti. Very good thoughts. What you want to become in life?
Sir, I want to be a doctor.
Oh, good, good. All the best. So let me move.
And
Yeah, you want to say something?
since tomorrow is our country's Independence Day, I would like to sing a song.
You want to sing a song? Okay, 1-2 lines you can sing. Please go. Go ahead.
We shall overcome, we shall overcome, we shall overcome someday. Oh, deep in my heart, I do believe that we shall overcome someday. Thank you, sir. I'll stop here so that
Very good, very good.
others can get opportunity.
God bless you. Take care of yourself and enjoy the day.
Thank you, sir.
Tomorrow, enjoy and celebrate. Yes, Karma. Karma. Karma, can you hear me? Then unmute yourself and please come on video. Yeah, Karma. Yes, come on video and speak up. Good evening. What do you want to say the world? You can come on video.
Sir.
Yeah.
Good evening, sir. And
Good evening.
audience. My name is Karma Chrisha. I'm pursuing my graduation from Sikkim. Yes.
We are able to hear you. Some signal problem, Karma.
Women empowerment is process of empowerment. Empowerment.
And some connectivity with this.
Connectivity problem. Karma, we'll come back to you again. Let's have Inu Hangma. Inu Hangma, unmute yourself. Yeah, please come on video and talk to the whole world. Yeah, you can speak, Anu Hangma. Inu Hangma. Yes, Inu Hangma, you can speak out. Some problem, I think.
Namaskar
Namaskar.
and good evening, Dr. Gulshan Sharma ji, AP Sharma ji, and Arun Kumar ji. My name is Inu Hangma Subba.
Good.
My name is Inu Hangma Subba.
I think maybe.
Connectivity is an issue.
Yes, yes.
And I belong to Nepali community.
Oh, good. Good.
Okay.
Okay, Shell, are you there? Shail. Shell, are you there?
Yes, sir. Good evening, sir. Thank you for the wonderful session.
Yeah, please, you can give your message. Thank you very much.
So it was very informative and very reflective session on our teachers so that we can continue with the practices which sir told, and we'll promise that we'll follow the whatever the guidelines we are being provided with, and we'll try that our children love us and we love our children.
Thank you very much. To what place you belong?
So I'm staying in Bahrain actually and working under sir only.
Good. Very good. So you are not coming. So you are enjoying under a good leadership.
Yeah, sure. Yes, sir. Definitely.
Arunji, you have got wonderful comments, and the amazing thing was that all 247 people were there with us till end. And
most of our staff members are with us today, sir.
Yes. And there are many principals. I could see Pramod Mahajanji, Asha Madam from Kuwait, and then Sayyid Shaukat Ali ji, and then there are more than 100 principals from Punjab.
My regards to all.
Thank you very much for a wonderful session. And on the behalf of everybody, again, I'm wishing get well soon wishes to Gulshan ji. He has taken a lot of burden in last 2 days. That was the problem. So I hope everything will be fine.
We wish him speedy recovery, sir.
Yeah, wishing a speedy recovery from all, and then those students who could not speak today, will give them chance again. So once again, from my side, Arun ji, from Gulshan ji and the whole team, we are wishing you all स्वतंत्रता दिवस की बहुत बहुत शुभकामनाएं, बहुत बहुत बधाई. ईश्वर करे कि हमारा सामंजस्य, हमारी सहभागिता हमेशा बनी रहे, हम सब मिलके रहें और हमारा देश नए नए आयाम छुए. हमारा परचम हमेशा लहराता रहे और सा वसुदेव कुटुंबकम की भावना हमेशा जागृत रहे और देश कमाल देश है, कमाल करेगा ही।
True, sir.